Hello. SmartGuide has so many exciting updates coming up in this year already, and some are just around the corner. So I wanted to give you a quick update so that you know how you can get the most out of the platform. First of all, we enhanced all the Prime maintenance packages. Each package includes something completely new and has some improved functions. So this is really the best way to get the most value out of SmartGuide. So in the essential package, we included in the sponsored function a new AI tour planner. This is absolutely amazing. I will talk about that later in more details. We also improved the data analytics across all the packages with a new dashboard. And we enhanced the priority customer support for content publishing. In the extra package, we added the embedding of your web pages inside the application. And then in the exclusive, we have a new AI guide, basically a chatbot inside SmartGuide linked to your content. I will explain all of these features in a short while. And of course, you can get them part of these packages, but also standalone. We got used to inflation everywhere and prices increasing. SmartGuide kept the prices, but we also included two new tiers to make these packages affordable also for smaller attractions and destinations. So we have a tier for attractions and destinations now for less than 100,000 and even less than 10,000 visitors that are really a fraction of the cost. So now everyone can benefit from these best functionalities. ChatGPT is becoming very popular for travelers to plan their trip. So SmartGuide integrated ChatGPT right inside the application, but with many enhancements. So firstly, SmartGuide includes now a new icon called AI Guide in the menu that you can access. The traveler can access the guide. And you can interact with it exactly in the same way how would you do with the ChatGPT. The difference is that we append the personalized profile, interest profile, to each of the user prompts. So, for example, here, when I asked ChatGPT inside SmartGuide what to do in Pilsen, it recommends me to spend 2 to 3 days, unlike 1 to 2 days, the generic ChatGPT. And it tells me to start with the Pilsner Zoo because it knows my interest, it knows I love nature, and I usually travel with kids. So it doesn't drive me like it would do with most travelers to the brewery. And that's the key, to distribute the tourists across the destination, inspire them to visit even the less known places. But that's not all. When it mentions the Pilsner Zoo, if we can match it with vetted content, in this case, the Pilsen Tourism Board listed the zoo in the guide and prepared their official content about the zoo. So when you click on it, you don't get ChatGPT generated nonsense. You get the official content from the destination about the zoo. And thirdly, it's much more convenient than getting the text output of ChatGPT. So now I can bookmark the place, I can listen to the audio, I can see photographs, and these are real photos, not AI generated. I can navigate to the place, and so on. Linked to that, we are now working and should launch before the season a new AI itinerary planner. So far in SmartGuide, we had these fixed tours. This makes completely personalized tour, and it includes in the tour the starting place where the user is and an ending place, which can be different or it can be the same. So a user can have a custom tour, let's say, from their hotel. And on the tour, they will get the top sites in the destination, but also the places that best match their personal interest profile. So again, even if two tourists start from the same hotel, they have different interests, they will get different recommended tours. And finally, it takes into account how much time you have for the exploration. And later, we will be adding in some more restrictions and functionalities such as weather. So this is a real game changer, and it works based on the content that you already have about the places of interest in the destination. So you don't have to do anything else. It will be just added if you have the Prime package where you sponsor the guide. In the analytics dashboard that you have either yearly, quarterly, or live based on your Prime package, we added a new chart at the bottom that compares the interest profile of the visitors in your destination with the offering based on the content you have in the destination. So you can see that, for example, you have lots of families with kids, but you don't have enough content that is kids friendly. Or that you maybe like content about gastronomy or stuff like that. So you can see how well your offering aligns with the visitor expectations based on data. Not only it's possible to include SmartGuide as a web widget on your destination website, but if you have some content that you have on the website and you would like to have in your guide in the application, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can load any responsive web page directly in your destination in SmartGuide. And this is now available as part of the Prime features. So you can add, for example, a calendar of events. That's very useful so that your content about the tourist places that doesn't change too often. The calendar has to be updated all the time. Why to do it twice? We just loaded up what you have. Or you can have some booking of activities, tickets. It's up to you. We now also have one large promotional space for relevant travel services, for example, eSIM for the free guides. So if you have any of the Prime packages that includes the sponsorship, you will not have any advertising, but this allows us to provide the app also for free for customers who do not have this any Prime maintenance and thus use SmartGuide free. Previously, we had tours in destinations, in the regions, but now we expanded so we can have tours across the entire country. And this is great for, let's say, road trips. You can have the Route 66 all across US. And we also did already some biking tours, so a multi-day biking trip along the Elbe River, for example, in the Czech Republic. So you can now integrate what you have across the whole country, across the region, connect different destinations on big driving or cycling tours. And then when the users get to any destination, if there is a more detailed guide available, they can open it up. We believe inclusiveness is very important in tourism, so we enhanced our capabilities to support the accessibility and special needs. So first of all, we introduced a new wheelchair accessible tour type. You can test it in Madrid. It's you can use the same places that you already have in your guides, but it's really helpful for the people on a wheelchair to tell them which route exactly to take, because it can make a big difference if they are, all of a sudden they face a sidewalk where they cannot climb, and these recommendations can save them lots of troubles. Also, we support the sign language by using videos on each point of interest. So you can have a regular tour, and then you can have the same tour for people who require the sign language in parallel. And we also improved the font scaling. So for people who do not have such a good vision, they can now increase when they increase the font size in their phone settings. SmartGuide actually works very well with this. And of course, we don't have to mention that we have the audio that we always had, which can be very useful for people who cannot or don't want to read the display, for example, when the sun is shining. So SmartGuide really supports accessible tourism, and it's also now there are many grants available to support accessible tourism. So if you deploy this very easy, you can get extra points for some public funding. Before, you had to manually switch the audio output, and now we improved it so that it happens automatically, basically exactly in the same way like on WhatsApp. So if the user has headphones plugged in or via Bluetooth, by default, the content will play into their headphones. Then we detect if the user puts the phone to their ear, then we will switch to the microphone the same way, the speaker, sorry, that if you call on a phone, and then when you put the phone in front of you, you want to share maybe the playback with someone, only then it will play loud from the loudspeaker. So this is very easy to also prevent users from disturbing others, so that they can use it as a audio guide just on their ear. It's quiet, and it's very intuitive how to use it. We already have 1.7 million users, and we want to provide the top quality content for them. So we revamped our content publishing process. So if you have any of the Prime maintenance packages, you have the priority support, and we will do thorough reviews for you. You have the chat directly in the content management system enabled. For those partners who do not have the Prime maintenance, the priority support, they can still get these reviews to be published to our user base, and the cost is 100 euros per review. For those partners who just want to use SmartGuide completely for free, they don't want any reviews, it's okay. They can still use SmartGuide, but in a new mode, which is called Basic Private. So basically, they will just do the content in the content management system, no checks. They immediately get a QR code that they can use to distribute it through their own channels to their users, and it's supported by ads. For our Prime maintenance partners or those who pay for the content check, we will make sure that the content is of good quality, and then we are happy to promote it to our entire user base. Speaking of best practices, we already work now with hundreds of tourism boards and attractions. So we went to see what works well and what does not in terms of the visitor experience. I personally visited about 20 of our partners last year and tried the visitor experience like tourist. Now, we distilled the insights from these visits and these experiences into best practice tutorials and checklists. So if you go on our new knowledge base on SmartGuide.app, you will then have in the menu knowledge base, you have all the manuals on how to develop best practice content, but also now you have two new videos on how the best practice experience looks like in an attraction and in destination. So you can check it out. You can see how do you compare and then improve. But if you want some more independent assessment of that, we are happy to do that. So we can do a lot online diagnostic where we look at the analytics, how your guides perform, We will see how it's presented online. We will do online interviews of your staff and ask them to take photographs of some important places. And based on that, we will prepare a report for you. Or we can do it in person. We visit your attraction, your destination, and experience it end to end as a traveler. And of course, combined with all the other insights and staff and visitor interviews. And then as a result, we can give you a scorecard along the important dimensions of the self-guided visitor experience, tell you exactly where you stand, what is the best practice, what are the gaps that we identified to best practice, and probably most importantly, we will tell you how to fix them. We will give you suggestions. We will guide you on a video call together through these suggestions, and then you decide if you want to implement them yourself, you want our help, or you just decide to keep it as is. And last but not least, we are releasing a new version of SmartGuide optimized for a large touchscreen TV in the information center or in a hotel lobby or airport locations like this, where people can come to the touchscreen and they can interact with the guide. They have all the content and it's all up to date with your smart guide. The difference is that when people first come to the touch screen, there is some promotional video of your destination playing. When they touch it, they will be asked to choose the language. And then out of the languages, of course, that you have available on Smart Guide, once they choose it, they will get the full guide with a view optimized for the big screen. They can plan their trip. They can get all the information, audio if you allow it. And then once they get inspired, they can click on a button to get a smart guide, your guide on their phone. So it will actually guide them through the installation process. So you don't have to, the visitor center staff doesn't have to deal with that. And then if they do not use the screen for a minute, there will be a countdown and then it will restart to the original setup, so that when a new visitor comes, they don't see the browsing history and so on of the previous visitor. It's a new experience for them from the beginning. And in this case, it works pretty much the same as Smart Guide on your phone, with the exception that you cannot choose the destination. So it's locked only to your destination. So like in this case, if it's in China, in Hangzhou, the visitors cannot check Beijing Guide, of course. I hope you are as excited about these updates as I am. And of course, if you have any questions, our Smart Guide team is available and happy to help you out.